Today on the podcast, we're going to be looking at how to create faceless content on social media. Again, today we're going to be looking at how to put up content on social media and you don't want people to see your face. Now, the reason why we're looking at this today is because I recently spoke at the SME VCon, that was 2 days ago, and my session was on selling in the screen first world. And at the end of my presentation, because I had spoken a bit about creating content, I got some questions from the participants around creating faceless content because obviously I put out a lot of content. I have over 1,200 episodes of the podcast. So I have a lot of content out there, but I don't show my face. So people wanted to know, can this thing be done? How can it be done? Do you have to show your face? All those sorts of questions. So that's the reason why I am making today's episode. So that we can figure out how to create faceless content on social media and then also tackle the question whether we have to put our face out there on social media if we really want to pop. And unfortunately, some of you might not like the answer that I am going to give. My name is Tamishima Ayede. I am the host of the podcast. And if you love these sorts of things, how do you create content? What kind of content should you create? How can you use content to attract certain kinds of people? Which kinds of people should you be attracting so that you can grow your profits, grow your sales? If you're interested in these sorts of things, then subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Apple, or YouTube, whichever is your streaming tool of choice or your playing tool of choice. And if you'd love to connect with me, then you can send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080 6466 2140. And warning, I'm making today's recording at home, so there will be noise in the background because it's a weekend and everyone is home. Excuse me. So now, let's get straight into it. How do you create faceless content on social media? Now, just in case you've not been able to figure it out, faceless content is content that you put out where you do not show your face. Now, remember, I was speaking at the SME VCon, and by coincidence, lots of the people that I was talking to were women. It was 99%, female audience, and all these sorts of things come up eventually. And even if they don't come up, to be honest, I broach the subject matter because, let me confess, I detest that lots of my sisters, my aunties, my cousins, I'm not saying personally, I'm just saying women who want to hustle, who want to move market, you feel as if you have to put on makeup, you have to wear bodycon, you must wear spaghetti, you must shake your money maker, you must jump on trends, you must do this. So honestly, I detest it. So on every single stage where I am, and I notice that it's majority women, it is one of the things that I say. If you don't want to dance, don't dance. By the way, for people who dance and their business blows up, it's because there is an art to dancing and twerking and pointing and challenge and whatever, all these trends. There's an art to it. It's a system. So you either know the system or you don't. So for those of you who want to play that game, fine. By all means, go and learn the thing. Put your face out there. Put your figure out there. Put your complexion out there. Put everything out there. And then make your business to blow. However, if you don't know that system, do not put yourself under pressure. My sisters, please. There is no need to put yourself under that kind of pressure. You must make up. Your teeth must be white. Your body must be snatched. You must do whatever trend. Anyway, so even if they didn't ask me, I would have brought it up. And of course, I've already said what my own opinion is on the matter. One of the questions was whether having your face is essential. And this is the answer, unfortunately. Having your face is not essential in posts. However, if you put your face, I won't lie, that post will pop. It just is what it is. For now, I don't know if algorithms are rewarding content, where people put their faces. But if you don't believe me, try it. Take the exact same post, put it up, maybe on LinkedIn. Just write it, caption, and then the post. Don't put picture. Then the second one, take a picture of your face, looking nice and pretty, staying by the window, well lit, makeup on point. Load the exact same post and then put your face there. You will see that the difference is clear. If your face is there, your content will pop. So this is where some of you will now start being afraid. But remember, I am not recommending that you do anything that you don't want to do. Because yes, for those of you who've been following me in the past, especially those of you who are subscribed to my YouTube channel, if you go to the earlier stuff, you will see that I used to put up TikTok videos. And my TikTok videos are there where I show my face. But I don't want to. So I don't. And you don't have to. But for the sake of argument, I am admitting it. Excuse me. All those posts where, for women in particular, you dress up suit and suit, and then you put your post. Even if the post has nothing to do with why you're wearing suit and suit, the thing will pop. The thing will move. So yes, put your face out there and your stuff will move. In fact, the more personal you get, the more the thing will move. Like this lady, I think was unfortunate, who not only does she put her face out there, when her marriage collapsed, she put it out there as well. And then when her children are graduating from school, she put it out there as well. Of course, but it was more of like, glory be to God, my husband didn't support me, I've made it, the children have graduated, now they're going for masters, blah, blah, blah. Man, that post went viral. That post was huge. Huge. So yeah, honestly, put your face, the thing will move. The more personal you get, the thing will move. You don't believe me? Try it. Put your kids in the post, Put your husband in the post, on and on and on and on and on. Guys, the same thing. Put your wives in the post, put your kids in the post. Yeah, the thing will move. But you don't have to if you don't want to. And please remember one thing. Social media, when you put something out there, you can't take it back. And once you put something out there, you can't complain. So like take me, for instance. Yeah, I joke about the times that me and my wife quarrel about one or two things. But if I seriously put out there some of the issues that me and my wife have been having, and then something takes off, and I don't like the kind of coverage it's getting, I can't tell you guys, stay the hell out of my marriage. I can't. Because I'm the one who put my marriage details out there. So those of you who are pimping your families or pimping your personality or pimping your whatever, for business growth, if you want to, it's cool. Just know you're not in control of these things when they get out there. And at the end of the day, you can't say, please respect my privacy. As in which privacy? When you're the one that threw it out into the open. But yeah, you put your picture, you put your personal stuff out there. Of course, your content is going to blow. Excuse me. Just know that sometimes it's not always the kind of attention that you are looking for. But yes, I answered the question honestly. Even if all you do is snap picture of your face and put there, then you put the post. Even if the post has nothing to do with your face, yeah, it will move. Now, for those of us who've decided I do not want to put my face out there, just know that you're up for a very uphill battle. It's a long journey. So people tell me all the time, even my clients, they're like, look, oh boy, you could be huge, you could be big. All you have to do is start putting out videos. And I know, yeah. But the thing is, I just don't want to. For several reasons. Excuse me. So yeah, it will come at a cost. You can put your face out there and do it quick. Or you can be stubborn, like some of us, and say, nah, I'm not putting my face there. You just know that you're in for a long journey. So, faceless content can work. It's just that it will take you a lot longer. And that's the reason why I'm making today's podcast episode, because I want to let you guys know the things that are required, the things that are absolutely essential, the things that are important, the things that are non-negotiable for those of us who are putting out faceless content, the things that we have to do. And number one, you guys have a unique voice or a unique point of view. When I say voice, I don't mean like vocal cords. I'm saying that when you open your mouth and you're spitting something, like people can tell that, it get where this guy they come from, or it get where this babe they locate. You understand? Like when you open your mouth, people can see that you're coming from here, you're going to there. Whether you're a man or a woman, you're making faceless content. The moment you open your mouth, people should know that, BC, she don't come again. She's coming from here and she's going there. It should be clear. Your point of view, unique. The thing that you're saying, nobody else should be saying. Even if other people are saying it, the way that you're saying it with your full chest, full bravado, full confidence, we can't skimp on that. We can't. So for this podcast now, since I'm not on video, people can't see my fine face. It has to be my point of view that will carry things for me, that will carry it through, push me over the goal line. So if you're going to make faceless content, you can't afford to be anyhow. You need to be clear from day one. What are you saying? And anybody who's been listening to this podcast from day one, you guys already know my point of view. I don't mince words. I say that sales is the most important business function. I say it every time, and I'm willing to defend it on any platform. Now, until we put sales first, until we gain some traction, until we gain some market validation, we've shown that people like what it is that we have and that there's a market here, you can't build any business. You can't. There's no business that has not been built off of the back of traction. Call it sales, call it traction, call it market validation, call it product market fit, call it whatever it is you want to call it. But that thing, whatever term you like, that is the most important thing that you need. And I'll defend it anytime, any day. And those of you who've been listening to this podcast for a long time, you guys show up to hear me talk about precisely this kind of stuff. So my point of view is my own point of view. You can't point to 2 or 3 other people who are saying the kind of things that I'm saying. You can't. At least not in Nigeria. So, 3,500 subscribers now on Spotify, a few thousand on Apple iTunes. The reason why that is possible is because I have a unique point of view. You hear me, you know that this boy is coming from here and this boy is going over there. So that those who agree with me, they will jump on board. Those people who don't like it, they will jump off. If you're making faceless content, people can't see our fine face. They can't see our smooth skin. They can't see our Rolex. They can't see our nice apartment. They can't see our, all the other things that people like to put out there. So it has to be a point of view. It has to be unique. Your point of view has to be unique. There's something you should be saying. If you're not sure about what it is that you want to be saying, you're not ready to start making faceless content yet. Just chill, relax. When you have that point of view that you're willing to quarrel with anybody over, you say like, look, when it comes to X, Y, Z, now so the thing's supposed to be. When you get to that level, you're ready. Start making your faceless content. Then next thing, for those of us who make faceless content, you need a fixed visual style. Even though they don't see our face, they will be seeing something. So, if you noticed, when I started off the podcast, at first was just my a picture, passport photo that I put up there. Okay. You still call it faceless content because, it was not me, my face animated. But after a while, I say, look, my face doesn't mean anything. I'm a newbie. It's not like I'm Obama that people will see my face and say, hey, I know that guy now. Let me try out this podcast. Then, when ChatGPT came out, or whichever one came out first, I just used it. I said, dear ChatGPT, design a logo for me. Use these colors, black, orange, blue. And on the logo, put sales and marketing. The very first thing he gave me, I took it and I pasted it on my podcast, on my podcast art. And whether I was sharing stuff on Instagram or, sharing my podcast link, that was the only thing that would be shown. However, fixed visual style, consistent, that was the only thing. So after a while, you see that thing, you just know it's that nigga. You have to do the same thing if you are doing faceless content. Your font, your design element, the color, the palette, the idea, it has to be fixed. So when I was on TikTok and I got tired of putting my face, what I used to do was I used to write out the notes of the things I wanted to discuss, and then I would point on each thing, as I was talking. So, after a while, of course I stopped it a long time ago, but after a while, people just knew. If you see that notepad and you see somebody pointing and talking, you just know that it is that guy. Bosha, the visual style, consistent, the same from one to another to another. People need to know, oh, it is you. Is that guy or is that girl? Then, this one is very, very important. When it comes to faceless content, you have to talk to a specific niche. The reason why is because when it comes to faceless content, it is substance over hype. Substance first. There's no hype, there's no vibes, there's no persona, there's no brand, there's no nothing. So it has to be the substance first. So you have to be talking straight to a particular group of people or straight to a particular topic. So in the beginning, I was talking to business people, but who were in the event space. Wedding planners, wedding photographers, cake makers, wedding video people, MC, on and on and on, events. But then I realized that those people, even though I was talking to them, they were not talking back to me, because I started hearing from people who listen to the podcast, and I was hearing that you guys are coming from all walks of life from Nigeria, except the event space. To be honest, today, of the people who reach out to say, oh boy, what's up, love the podcast, blah, 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 I listened to it, only one wedding photographer. Me and my wife, we love your show, we listen to it. I say only one wedding planner. I have not heard from one wedding planner. Wedding video people, I have not heard from one wedding video person. MC, I have not heard from one MC that's listening to this podcast. After a while, it just became clear that I'm talking to Nigerian business people, except people in the wedding and the event space. But that's the beauty of talking about sales anyway, because since it's sales, people can relate. So even though the example I was giving was wedding photography, they could take it and apply it to something else. So that's when I pivoted, as people say, and I started talking to Nigerian business people in general. Bosha, it's a business podcast and I'm talking about sales and marketing. But you can see that the substance, the topic, the things we're talking about, specific niche. Because since I'm not showing my face, I can't be putting out vibes. I can't put out my fine face, wear fine clothes, use light, bamboozle you people. And, I can't, there's no persona here, no brand here. I can't do any visual gishbang on you guys. So, specific topic. So, whether you're a boy or a girl, you're going to be producing this faceless content. Know your niche and speak straight to it. Like there was a lady during the SME VCon who is in the AI space. Know your niche. What are you talking about? AI. Okay. Who are you talking to? AI people where? Nigerian AI people, Ghana AI people, or AI in general? And what are you trying to tell them? How you can use AI to build your career? Or how you can use AI to make your business more effective, or how you can use AI to improve your relationship, but we need to figure out all these things out. Who am I talking to? What's the topic? What's the niche? What am I saying? Because when it comes to faceless content, there's no room for vibes and inshallah. There's no room for vibes at all. Then, if you're going to be creating faceless content, it has to be high-value content. When I say high-value content, I mean it has to be content that is educating people on something or that is helping people solve a problem. Because, let me be real with you, it is hard to create faceless content if your goal is to educate people or to entertain people. It's hard. The only way this thing is going to work is if you are educating people or if you're solving problems. That's the reason why they will come back. Because there are people who ask me, why would anybody be sitting at a blank screen? because essentially, when you're looking at my YouTube channel, that is all you're seeing. Sorry, it's not really a blank screen because my podcast art is there, but then that's it. Somebody say, why would somebody sit at a blank screen and listen to this thing for 45 minutes? Because I've done a few episodes that are 45 minutes, 50 minutes, 1 hour. The reason why they will sit down is because they are being educated, or I'm helping them solve one or two problems. So if you must do this faceless content thing, forget entertainment. See, and the entertainment thing, it will work itself out. Like, some people find me entertaining. And those of you who find me entertaining, thank you very much, because I use you guys to boast to my mom and to my wife. Because as far as my wife is concerned, I'm dry. My wife says I'm dry autofocus. And my mom, she says I do not have sense of humor at all. She says she doesn't know how chicks used to take me seriously. There's some people that say they don't know how I got married. So you guys that find me entertaining, I really appreciate you. I use you guys to boast. I say, look, man, stay there. The outside, I'm a speck. On my podcast, when I open my mouth, people laugh. They feel me. So the humor will take care of itself. Right now, educate people, solve a problem. Then, if we're doing faceless content, there are different alternative formats that we can use. One of them is voiceovers, and it's something Gary Vee has been talking about. Gary Vee, he's been talking about it, that if there's something relevant to your industry, you can put up the video, and then your own voice will now be talking in the background as the video they play. So let's say you like cars, for instance, and maybe you sell cars, but you don't want to put your face on anything like most people do. Good, let's go with that. Cars. Since I've been talking about Sarki Motor a lot, because Sarki Motor, he's an Instagram influencer, car dealer in Abuja, Nigeria, and it looks like the guy is doing well. Of course, those of you who've been listening for the podcast for a while, you will know the guy, because that's where I saw the purple Tesla Cybertruck. Man, that thing fine, die. Lovely looking car. Although my wife says the Cybertruck is ugly. I think that was a 430M. Correct car. Very sweet car. Very, very sweet. So, let's say now you want to create your own, but you don't want to be putting your face in your videos like Sarki Motor. That's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. Maybe what you can do is voiceover. You take your phone, you flip the camera so that it's not your face that is showing, but it's your voice that is talking. And then, you start. First of all, you're going around the car and you say, hello, my Instagram lovelies. This is Odogu Tesla again. And today we have here the Tesla Cybertruck. Look at this beauty. Lovely onion pink something. And as you're talking and doing voiceover, you're just recording, you're just moving. Look at the tire, something. Look at the battery port, something. Look at the exquisite leather seats, steering something, control, whatever, GPS. You're moving around. Essentially, what you're doing is voiceover. Your face, no, they show, but you are showing the product. Now, voiceover, they do. In fact, what some people do is they record the video first, stitch the video together, then they now calm down in their office or in their bedroom, in the studio or whatever, and then now record the video over it. So you want to do faceless content? Voiceover. That's one format for you. Or you can do like how I used to do, demonstration and tutorial. I used to write out what I was going to talk about, or sketch out some diagrams to show how some things relate, and then using my finger or using pencil and biro, I'll be pointing to specific things. I am demonstrating something visually that I draw on paper. You can be demonstrating something too. This is how XYZ works. You face the camera away from you, and then you begin to demonstrate. Like all these people that do unboxing videos on YouTube. No be faceless content be that. It's faceless. You can't see their face. All you can see is their hand. And then they'll open it and say, oh, hello, my lovelies. Today we are unboxing the Samsung triple fold something. See this phone, very sweet, here from Dubai. Well, let me put it on. This is how the thing go on. You go charge them like this. The thing has this megapixel, this, that. That's also a faceless format, but in demonstration. Or you can even do tutorial format. Or you can do text-based content. That one too is also faceless. Although in my own opinion, if you're going to do faceless content, throw your voice in there. Small human element. So you can talk over carousels, you can talk over infographics, things like that. So there are different alternative contacts that you have. Content formats that you have available. Then, if you are going to do faceless content, this is one thing that we can't skimp on. You got to be reliable. You have to be consistent. People got to see you every week, or every day, every two days, every two weeks, whatever the format is. You just have to be there. That's the reason why I have kept going over the last 5 years. I have to be here. If I was doing one of those fine boy videos, I can afford to be on and off. When I show up on the fine boy video, you say, that fine guy from Abuja, and they will continue watching, and we'll continue from where we left off. But for those of us who are doing faceless content, the way that we reinforce ourselves in people's minds and in their psyche is we are there. So if it's every two days, post. If it's every one week, post. Whatever your cadence is. But please, remember what I said. If you say you're only going to be posting once a week, you are not serious. You haven't started. And this is the reason why. I'm not saying you should be a maniac when it comes to social media. I'm just being real with you guys. The internet is a busy place. Stuff happens every day. Tinubu will go for holiday. A Nigerian Hollywood starlet will be found in a bedroom with a politician. Trump will say something about invading Nigeria. What else? There will be wars and threats of wars, and earthquakes and threats of earthquakes, and on and on and on. A lot of stuff is happening over social media. If you're only producing one thing per week, you will be drowned out. Nobody will hear you. So, I'm not saying you should be a beast creating content like me, but just know in your heart of hearts that if you only want to make one thing every single week, you are not ready. Anyway, there's some people who will never be convinced, so let me just stop. But just so you know, for those people who produce once a week and you're wondering, why is my content not taking off? That's the reason why. Because you put your thing. It's not as if you're even paying for it to be boosted. So you put your thing out there, you don't pay for it to be boosted. A controversy starts. A flood happens in Niger State. Or maybe Tinubu is photographed, walking the streets of Paris, even though he said he's supposed to be, on holiday in Saint-Tropez or something. Or Senator Ned Nwoko will marry another Nollywood starlet, and on and on and on and on and on. And then your stuff gets buried. Anyway, let me move on. Washa, reliability, consistency. For those of us who are doing faceless content, we can't avoid that. Then, discoverability, SEO. Since our fine face is not in this video, we have to take advantage of being discovered. So when it comes to titles and topics and things like that, we should have a very strong SEO focus. We should be using key terms that people are going to be looking for, searching for, which is the reason why my podcast title is the most boring title you will ever hear. When I was talking to people in the wedding space, that is what it was called. It was called Sales for the Nigerian Wedding Space or something. I can't remember. Boring as hell. And then now we have moved to Sales for the Nigerian Business Person. It's not because I'm not creative. It's not because I cannot come up with creative titles. It's because I have to take advantage of discoverability and SEO somehow. So I use the keywords that people are searching for. Today, I spoke to Omo Bolahon, based in Canada, who's running a fashion brand. That is how he found me. He went to Spotify and he typed in sales, marketing, Nigeria. Bam, I showed up. If I use a sexy title, nobody is going to find me. So let's assume that I was still like, my uni days, because I was a fine boy when I was in uni. My 20s, then I was fit. My chest was, bam, barrel chested, correct boy, no pimple, clean skin, biceps pumping. So if back in those days now, I now take a picture like that, and then, that's my podcast art, I'm relying on my good looks, I give you some sexy title, yeah, one or two people might click and give me a shot. But as I'm not putting my face now, I have to rely on SEO, discoverability principles. So keywords, the keywords that you want, that your ideal audience is looking for, those should be in the title of the content that you produce. That is how you will get found. Because we can't be using vibes, we can't be using brand, we can't be using persona. There are lots of things we can't use anymore for people to take a shot at us. So, strong SEO. Very strong. Always use your keywords. Always. That's what people are looking for. Then, why bother to engage in faceless content? The answer is very simple. The reason why we engage in faceless content is because we are trying to grow sales. We are trying to make moolah. We are trying to make bali. We are trying to get owo. We are trying to get kudi. We are trying to get ego. That's the whole point of creating faceless content. We create faceless content, especially for those of you who use demonstration style videos. The reason why you demonstrate your stuff is because from demonstrating, you're hoping to get higher engagement, people liking, commenting, sharing. When they share or they comment or whatever, a couple of them will engage in conversation. It gives you an opportunity to make some sales because people have been reaching out to you to ask you how far. For those of you who are making faceless content where you use case studies, like me, I talk about case studies on the podcast. That's the whole point. When you keep on talking about case studies, you're showing that you're credible. You show that you know what it is that you're talking about. You show that you know your stuff. You show that this boy get brain, or that this babe is the very babe. She knows what's up. That's called social proof. People look at you and say, this girl. No, she's tight. And from there, engagement. From engagement, conversations. From the conversations, an opportunity to sell one or two things. But overall, I'll say this is the best reason why we make faceless content, because faceless content is evergreen. Evergreen just means it never grows old. My content will never ever grow old because I'm not relying on my fine face. I'm not relying on fashions. I'm not relying on trends. I'm not relying on persona. I'm not relying on anything. I'm leaning in heavily with my unique point of view, trying to educate people on specific things. My content will never, ever, ever grow old. For those of you who rely on vibes and challenges and stuff like that, the stuff that you made last year, you cannot promote it again now because the trend don't change. The fashion has changed, or now you've put on weight, or now you don't get pimple. Some of you, content that you put out 2 months ago, you can't use it again. But for me, stuff I've been making for the last 5 years, I can still use it. In fact, for some reason, one of the earliest podcast episodes I produced, happens to be one of my bestsellers. Well, not bestsellers, I mean like most popular. Even though I'm not proud of it. But that's the benefit, the main benefit of doing faceless content. It never grows old. Never. I know that even if I stop this podcast today, I can assure you in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, people will still be listening to it because the stuff that I'm talking about is topical, always relevant. Because I'm trying to stay on point, talk to a particular niche, trying to educate people, trying to talk about something specific. I have my own point of view. My stuff will never grow old. It will never be dated. because it will be evergreen, it will always help me in generating leads. A lead is somebody who might be interested in your product or your service, and the person has done something to show they might be interested. So because my stuff is evergreen, things that I made 5 years ago will always be working to generate attention from you and to generate leads. For those of you who are relying on trends or how fine you are or how charismatic you are, the one that you made 2 years ago, you cannot promote it now. It cannot bring business for you now. You don't go. You've made it. It's in the past. It's done. I will never have that problem. People who make faceless content, we will never have that problem. So, like I said at the beginning, I admit, if you put your face out there and you put your personal stuff, oh yeah, your content will take off. It will. Very well. Very, very well. But you don't have to put your face out there if you don't want to. So for those of you who want to make faceless content, that's the reason why I made today's podcast episode for you. Use this as a guideline. Start your journey. It'll be long. It'll be arduous. It'll be hard. But believe me, it'll be worth it. It will be worth it. And you know the funny thing? I've been doing faceless content now for 5 years. Let's say tomorrow, I say, you know what? May I step up? Let me put my face out. What the hell do you think will happen? Things will take off. Because I have built a solid foundation on a faceless level. I can use that foundation to now catapult myself one time. So don't worry. Even if you decide to change in the future from faceless to now putting your face, it's not a problem. The opportunity is there. But for those of you who have already started off using your face, the day you decide to go faceless, what's what will happen? Crash. Your whole thing will crash. Because people have been coming for your brand. They've been coming for your vibe. They've been coming for your steez. They've been coming for your, whatever it is. So those of us who are starting with faceless, there's no loss at all. There's no loss. Anyway, so that's it. That's all for today. Remember, if you'd love to connect, you can call, send me a text message or a WhatsApp message on 080-6466-2140. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you some other time.